This is your Barbados Today evening news update for Friday, July 20th. With the news, I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. It's a march of equality and inclusion. That's how the local lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and queer community is describing this weekend's Pride March, which has drawn a strong rebuke from some members of the religious community. In a statement today, Director of the Barbados Gays, Lesbians and All Sexuals Against Discrimination, Donya Pigott, insisted that the event set for Sunday was not just about gay rights, but it also seeks to highlight the plight facing women, the disabled, the Rastafarian community, and other marginalized groups. Pigott's comments comes one day after a group of leaders representing 20 churches charged that the LGBTQ community was seeking to force its agenda on the society. Pigott did not respond to the claim, but said the community wants to be treated as equal citizens and to be included and recognized in society because they have been treated as secondary citizens for too long. She stressed that the group wants Barbados to thrive and remains committed to the country's development. Prime Minister Mia Mottley sat down today with the owners of public service vehicles at a meeting at government headquarters to discuss their concerns. On the agenda was the impact of the recently introduced fuel tax, among other things. But when both sides emerged, they were tight-lipped about the details. President of the Association of Public Transport Operators, Maurice Lee, was however upbeat about the talks.
The tone of the meeting, it went very well. Essentially, the government, the Prime Minister, the Minister of Transport, they all recognize the significance of public transport to Barbados and the contribution that it has made over the years. But when you look at transport, it is not just an incentive-based industry. There are environmental concerns, there are concerns in relation to how the vehicles are operated, there are safety concerns, and we've agreed to come together to meet. It requires more than just one meeting. There are a series of meetings that have to be had, and we have been given, as the Prime Minister said, a blank sheet on which to draw on in terms of what we want to bring to reality in terms of the transport industry, but the benefits have to be mutually beneficial. There's not an attempt to put an increased burden on the lower echelon of the economy or at the same time lean into the public purse.
5 jet bridges, a rehabilitation runway, and an upgrade of several departure gates are among government's major expansion plan for the Grantley Adams International Airport. Tourism and International Transport Minister Kerry Simmons outlined the development plan today, and he was delivering the feature address at the airport's 80th anniversary logo launch this morning. He said a new board with the requisite skills, which will be headed by businessman Vic Finance, has been put in place to lead the upgrade.
The board will be asked to deal with a three-pronged mandate. The first one, I think all of us can automatically assume we will know and anticipate, and that is simply to deliver the very best possible visitor experience that can be found anywhere in the Eastern Caribbean. Secondly, the board will be mandated to maximize its commercial potential, the commercial potential of this airport. And last, but by no means least, to maintain the highest security and safety standards that we can possibly attain.
Minister of Maritime Affairs and the Blue Economy, Kirk Humphrey, says he's concerned that beachfront property owners may be standing in the way of beach development. Speaking to reporters following a walkthrough of the beach at Folkestone, St. James, which was rehabilitated by the Coastal Management Unit over the last 3 years, Humphrey said that some owners were opposed to work being done in front of their property. The minister explained that this has been a stumbling block in the expansion of the South Coast Boardwalk.
I know that, as the project manager has mentioned, that there have been some issues with people who own properties who do not necessarily want for the boardwalk to come onto their property. Of course, many of them want the convenience and the benefits of having the beauty of a modified a modernized boardwalk, and as you can see, a much bigger and a better looking beach. But they don't want the inconvenience of having the works done. But over the next few years, they're going to be works done, and we're going to have to ask people to bear a little bit for the sake of Barbados, because there's only one Barbados. And if we were to do the job that we have to do, and making a call on persons who own properties along the beach line to allow us to do the works that we have to do.
The Anglican Church says it's ready to support reasonable efforts by the government to tackle growing lawlessness and violence. In a statement today, Chairman of the Anglican Commission on Advocacy and Social Justice, John Goddard, warned that the current situation is not only a threat to the economy, but to the quality of life. He said the Church Social Justice Commission will be rolling out a comprehensive program entitled At Risk Youth that will seek to tackle the problem in a holistic way. In the meantime, Goddard urged the government to follow through on the Commission's recommendation to set up a University of the West Indies-led team to study the factors causing restlessness and deviance among the youth. Doug Hoyt is no longer the general manager at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. In a memo to staff today, Chairman of the CBC board, Melba Smith, said Hoyt and the board had agreed to a mutual and amicable separation. In the interim, Deputy General Manager Rodwell London will act as General Manager. Hoyt, who took up the post in April 2016, was also a former Director of Communications at the Almond Resorts and Director of News at an American media house.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back to Regional News. And Jamaica is offering a special treat to the 12 Thai boys and their coach who were recently trapped in a flooded cave in Thailand for more than 2 weeks. We get the details in this report from Television Jamaica.
For weeks, 12 Thai boys and their coach, trapped in a cave 6 miles long, dominated the global cycle. After spending 18 days in the flooded cave with little food and water, the boys were rescued on July 10. All were alive. The rescue, dubbed one of the most dramatic missions in history. Countries like the United States and India all helped. Now, the Jamaican government wants to pitch in.
Tourist Board and the Ministry of Tourism, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, will send a diplomatic note to the people of Thailand. Firstly, to commiserate on the difficulty that the youngsters, but also to commend the work that has been done to rescue those 12 young people.
A part of that offer is an all-expense-paid vacation for the boys and their coach to Montego Bay, St. James.
And on the international scene, divers on Friday pulled the last bodies from the wreckage of a duck boat that sank yesterday during a storm in a lake near a popular Missouri destination, killing 17 people in one of the deadliest U.S. tourist incidents for years. The vessel was filled with 31 passengers, including children, when a microburst storm hit Table Rock Lake outside Branson, Missouri. The video of the incident showed the vessel battled by waves.
This video posted online captures the moments before an amphibious duck boat capsized in stormy weather on Table Rock Lake in Branson, Missouri. At least 13 people drowned, including children. The search is on for others who are missing.
There was some heavy wind and it was having problems through the wind.
Emergency crews raced to the lake, a popular tourist destination, after thunderstorms rolled through the area Thursday evening with winds reaching over 70 miles an hour. Officials say there were 2 duck boats on the lake when the storms hit. The first one made it out. The second did not. It was carrying 31 people. Life jackets were on the boat, but it's unclear if people were wearing them.
And that's news. But for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.